I actually think it would have been dangerous if hard solo. Well, it's now called hard rated because apparently, if it was called solo, it would attract kids to drink it. But
wait, hold on. I haven't seen that. Wait.
Okay, so it's now called hard rated. Ooh.
Oh, I haven't actually seen that.
Yeah, it's now called hard rated because I think they got sued. I don't even think it was solo. I think it was just like one of the governing bodies that was like, bro, if you call this solo, kids will want to drink it.
I mean, kids want to drink alcohol anyway. I don't think that.
Yeah, exactly, right? But the fact that this shit actually does taste like solo and.
So is it not made?
No, it's not made by Schweppes.
I thought it was because it looks exactly like a Schweppes.
No, it's just because it was. Nah, I don't know how that works in terms of like escaping copyright and stuff, but no, it was not anything to do with Solo the company or anything. Because I feel like if it was made by the company that makes Solo, it would have been a harder job for them to be like, oi, change your name. But no, like it tastes real good. It's easy to drink. I see places are like getting it on tap now. I've seen there's a few local pubs in around the place that are getting it on tap, which is kind of interesting. You know, it's funny that you know what, it's now good. I'm now glad we are in
because there was a while there where it was just a joke.
Yes, yeah, but I'm glad we're past the point where it's like, if you want to be a proper dead hard real man, you got to drink beer. You got to drink Victorian bitters, Crownies, fucking Carlton bitters. Like you got to be real. You got to have
fucking hairs on your chest.
Put some fucking hairs on your chest. You got to have no fucking taste buds, folks. So no, I'm glad we're at the point where like it's now normal, not normal, but like it's more common that people just drink whatever the fuck they want and feel comfortable for it. I will say, fucking prices are extortionate for shit. Where was I the other day? And a drink cost me. Oh, where the fuck was I? I was somewhere, and the pint of dry of Canadian Club and Dry cost me like $15, and I was like. I was at a local pub. That's right. It cost me like $14.90 for a pint of Canadian Club and Dry, and I was like, "That shit's dumb. I'm not buying another one of those. That's fucking ridiculous." Pricing for all stuff is getting out of hand at the moment. We were talking about how, like it's funny, right? We were talking about before the show. We were talking about. I bought 4 of the hard rateds because it was $20 for 4, but I wouldn't pay like $99 for 24, even though when you do the math, it's like per can, it's cheaper.
Yeah, so that's why I'm confused.
Yeah, maybe it's because in my dumbass head, I'm like, you know what, right? Actually, and I don't know if this is me and my ideas around money and my thing. $20 is in the threshold of like, fuck it, I don't care about it. $20. $20 is $20. Like if something's like, if something is in that $20, like if it's like, if lunch costs me $20, or if there's something in, putting in for like to get a present for somebody who's leaving the business and stuff like that, to be nice, or we just had somebody leave our business that was going on maternity leave. $20 is like the thing for me, where I'm just like, yeah, I'll just chuck $20. $20 is the easy kind of cash amount for me in my head, where I don't have much of a second thought. If it is in that $20 range, I won't second guess myself. I'll just be like, yeah, fuck it, sure, there you go, have it.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't, like, not saying I'm ultra slick and good with my money, but that doesn't surprise me.
You're much better. You're much better. Like I'm getting better with my money. I definitely say my early 20s was definitely a time where I was not great with money, and I'm kind of at the moment digging myself not out of a hole because my credit score is really good, and just myself in like I'm good financially. It's just I could be a lot better and a lot more secure, and I'm currently building myself out at that point and kind of building myself up to have a foundation in life. Because I've never had, this is going to sound dumb, I've never had like proper savings. People who are like, yeah, I've got like, thousands, like a couple thousand or 4,000, 5,000 sat in a bank account, never been me. Never been me, because I am just forever you know what? Fuck it. I will save money, but then by the time I save money, I'll be like, oh, I've got this money here. I can now spend it on the thing I want to spend it on.
So like when I said I already had like $3,000 set aside for my computer.
Yes, that's not me, right?
And that was supposed to be a next year thing.
And that's the thing. And it's the funny thing where it's like, stuff in the last 18 to 20 months probably has made me realize that, hey, you do need to have this kind of thing. You do need to have that kind of safety cushion of money for, when life throws you a curveball, i.e. a kangaroo decides to plow itself into your car, or potholes ruin your life, or just anything like that, where you've got to have that money available to
you, so
yeah, they do. So I guess I'm at the point where I turned 30 in 8 days. I
Do you reckon you're gonna wake up and feel really different?
No,
because I didn't.
No, because you know what's the crazy thing, right? And this might be my outlook. People might say this is copium for me. I look at my 30s the way I looked at my 20s going into it. I think going into your 20s, you're like, yep, I'm finally an adult. I finally can do things. I have money. I have a car. I have my license. I can do what I want. I spent my 20s just making, not making like fuck it decisions, but like making some questionable financial decisions, or just trying to work shit out still. Trying to work out what the fuck I was doing in life and who the fuck I was and what I want to do with my life. And I feel like I've spent my 20s and I've done all that shit, and I'm now looking at my 30s being like, okay, this is that time period now. And I feel like it kind of makes sense in terms of, if you look back and when like people were my parents' age, or like, like when they were 20, that 20 to 30 mark was like, settle down, start your family, buy a house, get involved, get that kind of thing. And I feel like in today's society, that's fucking impossible to do. Almost not impossible, but like, I feel like what people used to look at your 20 to 30, that's what you should look at your 30 to 40 now. Because fuck, buying a house in your 20s.
Yeah, I mean, people literally say 30s is the new 20s, and they try and say it like it's a hip, cool thing, but it's just like, because until then you won't be able to have money to do anything anyway.
100%, right? It's like until you're 30, you're gonna do some dumb things that's gonna cost you some money at some point, and you're gonna you're gonna work shit out still, and you're probably gonna have a terrible time in relationships, or you're probably just gonna have to work yourself up. Or the honest thing is, you have to like 20s, you're still working out who you are. And I'm very much of the opinion of that now, is that your 20s is figuring out who the fuck you are, because your teens is just such a weird time. Like, I feel like it's so hard to actually find out who you want to be and find out what you want to do. And there's so many different things happening as you're growing up. And I don't think, I look back now and I don't think at least the Victorian education system, I don't think prepares anybody very well for life beyond school and beyond the education system. I don't even think it prepares you very well for university now that I've started university. Don't think it prepares you very well for that either. It feels very in its own bubble, and there's no real through point to it, like it's I don't think I'm of the opinion now where it's like,
I've seen discussions around this sort of thing. Like, it's not the Victorian education system, it's definitely at least the entire Australian education system. I don't know what the rest of the world's like, but like, I guess just the life basics of, no one ever teaches you how to like actually save, other than like if your parents tell you like, here's a piggy bank, but that's only like scratching the surface, like building a habit sort of thing. And then I think the number one thing I always see people point out that I think is very true is, no one tells you, unless you've got an adult in your life to tell you this, but a lot of adults don't know, or still haven't worked it out. Like, I've got people in my family who still have no clue. What do you do with your money? Like, what do you You know,
exactly.
what do you
Right?
do with
Like,
it? When you get it,
like,
what do you do with it?
yeah, right. And I know there's this like, and it's the thing that I've always like. That's a really cool idea. I'm trying to get to the point where I can do that, where it's like, okay, with your paychecks, you should like. I think the number is 30 to 30%. They're like, you should just, as soon as your paycheck goes into your account, 30% of it you should just go disappear it into an account that you don't touch, and then you should live off the other 70%. The other 70% is like
that includes bills.
That's
like
all your bills. That's everything.
fun
like,
stuff. What day to day, like it.
And you just don't think of your pay as the full amount. You think of your pay as the 70%. And I think and I wish I'd been told that, or I just started doing that for the moment I was 18, because it's like, that just makes sense. You never get ahead of yourself. You never get used to a certain lifestyle that requires, 100% of your weekly, fortnightly, however often you get paid wage. It's even stuff like, I laugh at the conversation you and me had at DreamHack this year about taxes, and like, and like Dylan not like your understanding of taxes, or how you could leverage taxes.
I have very little understanding of taxes.
Like how you can leverage taxes to your own. And this is what I said to you. I'd like to say to all our audience members, especially if you are younger, just go get an accountant. Sure, it sounds like, oh, I don't make enough money, or blah, blah, blah.
You know what it is? It's growing up my parents imbuing a taxmen are expensive and they'll rip you off.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Get out of that headspace.
Yeah.
It's like $100 and something. You just get him to do your tax. Hopefully, out of your tax, you get, at one point, not recently, but at one point, you used to like be like, I'm expecting over $1,000 every time I do my tax back.
No, I told you last year when I did mine, it said I owed money. So.
You owed money, exactly, right?
Yeah.
But the old way used to be, it wasn't, not for the last couple of years, but like the old way used to be, you would expect $1,000 plus, depending on how much you earn, how much tax you pay. Sure, but for me personally, it was like $1,000 roughly, and you would just take off whatever the tax man charged. You would just take that out of your tax money. It's not money you ever had, technically. It's not costing you anything when you look at it that way. And it's a real smart way of doing it, because you'll do your taxes properly. You'll be able to take advantage of the possibilities of tax. And I think for yourselves and for everybody, it's okay to take advantage of tax. It's how fucking, the people that pay the lowest tax or the lowest percentage tax in the whole of this country are like the richest ones, because them motherfuckers know how to how to minimize their tax threshold as much as possible, and to minimize how much tax they're paying every year and what they're getting paid back. And it's just you just need to either learn it yourself or pay somebody else that knows it and get them to help you. And I think it's just a really smart and healthy thing to do. And just, you know what, the thing that always gets me when it comes to looking at bank accounts, credit cards, loans, anything like that, personally, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's a good interest rate
at the moment,
or just in general.
I know someone who got like locked in at like, I think 8-point-something% the other day, and that's really good. So
yeah, well, that's the thing, right? But you look at it and you just like, yeah, what is interest in dealing with it, or like, credit scores. It's another thing where I say, you know what? Even if you don't use it and you have no intention to use it, get yourself a cheap credit card and just have it there. Don't ever use it. Maybe use it for an emergency. But that'll like very early on, get yourself a cheap credit card, lock it away, throw away the card or something, and just have it there.
I think I've said before, I pay for everything on my credit card, and I have since I was 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I've said that.
Yes.
Which I don't know if it's like being really good or really bad for me, but I assume good, because
it's good for your credit score and stuff like that,
Yeah, because as soon as I got 18, I got like $1,000 credit card, and the one I've got now is a bit higher. But all I do is I just pay for everything on that during the week, because then I can never accidentally overdraw. Like if I move money to a savings account and then I forget I've got less, and then I just move the money when I get paid and pay it off every 2 weeks when I get paid. I just pay it off. Yeah,
I just think it's
$50 a year for my card.
It's good ways, and it's just I don't know. So I'm definitely I'm somewhat excited for my 30s. I'm doing I think I look at my 30s and I'm like, as I said a couple weeks ago, getting a tattoo and
Have you locked that in yet? Like,
I've locked in what I want to get. I just need
Yeah.
I do need to book in with one of the
no,
tattoo
what
artists.
are you getting?
It's gonna be really nerdy as fuck, but I love it. It is
Yeah, I really expected a fucking tribal tattoo or something on you.
No.
Jesus.
It's
I expect some anime bullshit.
it is 100% some anime
Yeah, see?
bullshit. Yeah, no,
I'm not surprised.
I've been, doing the white girl shit, and like I have a Pinterest board that is just filled with like tattoo inspirations.
Fair. Yeah.
And it is. I'm going with Naruto as the inspiration for this one because I was like, what is
Really?
something?
Not a volleyball.
Not a volley. You know what? Because I can't get anything good out of Haikyuu. One day I will work it out what I need to do that is good, but I totally will. But at the same time, even when I look at like the manga panels of that I think looks really cool, at the same time I'm like, I don't want that on me as a tattoo because it's kind of weird to explain and yada yada yada. But no, I'm getting these ones that's like a kunai, but it's got like the character's face as like part of the kunai coming out of it.
So a Naruto tattoo is less nerdy and easier to explain than a Haikyuu one.
Yes, because it's ninjas and shit, and it looks cool.
I feel like more people would recognize Naruto.
Yes, 100%.
Recognize
right?
it as anime, but that is a good and a bad because that means people who recognize it know it's anime and go, "Look, this nerdy motherfucker."
The thing is, I am 100% completely fine with that. Like
Haikyuu or something, people could be like, "I don't know what that is."
Nah.
Like they could just be like,
"Nah."
What's that?
I just but then the thing is, right? Even if they
someone hitting a volleyball.
The thing is, right? Yeah, but I don't know because I don't want to have to explain it, and I don't want to feel awkward explaining. Oh yeah, it's
you could get someone on ice skates, and they just think you love ice skating.
No.
Oh.
No, I don't. You know what? I've never watched Yuri on Ice. I should. It'll probably be up there.
So that was weirdly that was the of anime that carries with a very weird specific. Yep.
Yes. No, I'm getting that. No, because I want to get that, and then eventually, as long as it doesn't hurt too bad, or I don't, because I'm very much of the like thing where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get this tattoo, and if I might sit there and go, this fucking sucks. I hate this pain. Blah blah blah. I'm like 90% sure that's not going to be the case because I'm strategically I'm getting it on my leg because I want my arms clear for a sleeve design of something, and that sleeve's going to be nerdy as shit when I get it done. Like that, there is no doubt of how nerdy my stuff is going to be.
I mean, it's not bad with me. Anytime I've thought about ever getting a tattoo, I spend like a few weeks really thinking about it, and then eventually I'm laying in bed at night, and it's keeping me up thinking about it because my inability to commit. I go, no, I'm not. I can't.
I decided, and this is what's helped during this. There is one tattoo that I really want to get. That is sentimental / meaningful, or an idea for a tattoo that's sentimental / meaningful that I will get one day. But I have settled on the fact that I'm okay with just getting cool shit. Like it doesn't.
What I thought, like, so I saw people at the Mad Max Furiosa Melbourne premiere a couple weeks ago, right? And they had a real tattoo artist there at the premiere for like if you went like as media or content creator or whatever, you could get a real tattoo done, just like a little small one or something.
Yeah.
I feel like I need a scenario like that in my life where
so you
I
just be like, fuck it.
I just go, fuck it. And like, I get the first one and that puts me over, you know?
Because I'm like, I have there's like certain things that I'm like, I will one day find a way to make this into a tattoo and cool. Like I want to get Cloud's like Buster sword as a tattoo. But then I like the idea of I also want to get Tidus's sword from Final Fantasy X. Because there's some really cool tattoo designs around that I really like. There's like all sorts, and I have lots of ideas, and I've come to the fact where I'm just like, I'd like to get to the point where it's just I'm getting a tattoo of something I think is cool and interesting, and I like to look at it. Like that is the big thing of it. Is like and I'm excited. I'm excited to do that. I'm excited for 30 in general. I just, I think it's like 30. I don't want to say like 30 is going to be my years, but like it's where I'm going to push myself to do the most with.
I mean, if it helps, I feel like I've done a lot of good. I've done a lot in my 30s, right?
Yeah.
I'm 30.
You're 1 or 2 because you're not that much
2
older
this
than me.
year. Holy shit!
I was gonna say, I think you're
Bro.
2 years older than me. You're not that far out.
No.
But,
I'm brain fart. So I'm 32 this year, and I definitely feel like since I hit my third, like obviously my new work where I've been at for 3 years. I've done a lot in 3 years.
yeah, you've progressed a very long way in 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I definitely feel like I've like if that helps set your
Yeah, and it does, and it's like I'm currently learning how to drive a manual car because I'm like it's always
I
been
want
a
to be a
thing.
race car driver.
Kind of. It does make you like. Do you know how to drive manual? Was your original car? Was
Yeah,
manual,
no,
right? Okay.
I mean I don't know how I'd go now because I haven't driven one for years, but I learned in a manual.
Yeah. So
And then I got a manual license, and then I went, nah.
because my thing was I got an auto license. It was right around the time that was like, hey, as soon as you're on your full license now, you can drive any you can drive auto or manual. You don't have to get a particular license.
Yeah, mine's not locked.
So
yeah, so
to me, I was very much like, oh, sweet. If that's the case, I'll learn how to drive, and then at some point, I'll learn how to drive a manual. Here I am at 30, 12 years later, learning to drive a manual because I think it's cool. It does make you realize how fucking brain dead automatic is. Automatic is so
but I
brain
have no
dead.
problem with that. Like that's
it's actually kind of see when I switch because I've got when I switch back to my normal car, I am like I feel bored.
well, the thing is, right? I get it to a degree because people go, it's like you know, it's so boring or whatever, and I get that from an aspect of like, let's say you were racing cars, like you wouldn't want to.
No,
race
it's not even bored. It's just like I feel like you are more engaged as a driver. Like you are more like
so you have to pay more attention to the car.
You have to pay more attention. You have to understand your car better. You have to understand driving better. I don't know. I feel like it's very much a case of, you know, going and stopping is so fucking. It's all you do. It's all you have to do in the automatic. Whereas a manual, it's like, okay, I got to get it in first, and then I've got to make sure when it gets up to 20 k's, I switch it to second, and I know roughly where. And yeah, it is. Yeah, it's fun. What about you? Ashley, do you know how to drive a manual? There's no way you know how to drive a manual, right?
Yeah, I've driven a manual the entire time.
Oh. You know what?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say,
I'm a real person.
I was thinking, I was like, when I was in his car, I remember like getting into his car and I was like, a manual.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You're impressed, yeah?
And well, because he chose that car. It wasn't like like this is the car he got. When did you get that car? A couple years ago now, right?
Yeah, a few years ago.
Yeah. But like when his car died and he had to get a new car, there was a choice made.
Right, okay, and he chose the manual. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Very good.
And was that actually part of the like I need a manual?
I don't know if I needed a manual, but it made sense, and you know,
it would be cheaper, right? Surely the buy
cheaper, and you know, just keep that skill set up.
It's actually getting to the point.
It isn't
in Australia,
like riding a bike.
It's actually getting to the point in Australia where manuals are getting more expensive than automatics because they are getting rarer as automatic is. More and more people are just so automatic focused.
I mean, I get it. Like I get the complaint and everything like that, but like I'm very much of the mind of like if someone's like, hey, you can go do a lap around fucking, you know, what, like a track or something, I would want to drive a manual. And like,
100%.
Like I'd want to pretend I'm fucking Dominic Toretto, right? But and that's fine. And I remember the first time I ever drove. By the way, the first time I ever drove a car. Don't like. Here's a legal story, but like I remember, like I never had my L's and everything. Have I ever told the story how I got pulled over when I had no license? Just quickly.
No.
So I drove from Devonport to Launceston, which is like an hour and a half, I think, or 2 hours or something like that, right? And I had no L's, no nothing. I got all the way back to Launceston, got pulled over. I think I was like 16 at the time. The cop pulls me over. Yeah, asks for my license, expecting I'd be on my L's or something like that, I guess, or P's or something. I go, I have no license. And he goes, do you have any ID? I go, no, I've got no ID at all. The cop just looks at me and goes, I don't know what to do.
He's the person that should know what to do.
First down the job.
But I think it got very good for me because obviously if he'd figured out a way to deal with this, I don't think I would have been able to get my L's because he probably would have like I would have been in big trouble, obviously. But he was just like, where are you going? I'm like, 10 minutes that way. He's like, don't do this again.
But just keep going.
And he let me go. So shout outs to that guy. But like that was a manual. I drove the whole way and I went in a manual and everything. But yeah, I mean, for me, like if I'm driving anywhere now, especially like most of the time I'm driving just to and from work, I'm quite happy just to, just like relax. I don't need to be. I don't.
It's a benefit actually. I feel way more awake, like after driving a manual than I do driving an auto. I feel like I can drive
really loud music.
Wake the fuck up! No, because I feel like, and this is probably I don't want to say it's a little dangerous. I think sometimes driving an automatic, I autopilot, and I will like be driving and then be like, oh, I'm driving to work and it's a Saturday. I don't need to be driving to work and then like reroute and go.
I've done the thing where I've like I'm zoned out.
Once you get in the zone, you'll do the same thing.
I've done the thing where like I've like you suddenly it's like you come out of the trance and I'm like, oh, I'm here, like completely just.
I did that the other morning.
I meant to turn off like 2 stops.
Yeah.
I did it and I was like so fucking thrown and I'd realized I'd taken a wrong turn and I was like, I get where I am now. That's fine. But still, I was sat there for a good minute going, I can't remember anything. I can't remember where oh my God.
I accidentally ran a red light a couple months ago. Luckily, it was at like, I think it was when I went to work like really, really early for a stock take. So it was like 4 a.m. in the morning. So, but I remember I did that thing where I was like, like I'm halfway through the lights and then I realized I'm like, oh shit. And then I quickly like look left, right, as if there's anything I could do at this point anyway. And then I was like, thank God. And as soon as you get through to the other side, then it's like, look in the rear vision mirror and be like, is it? No, I'm by myself. There's no one around. Oh
no
my
cameras
God,
went off.
Like, yeah. like Jesus Christ, wake up, motherfucker. Like, fucking hell. Not the new car. That's the most important thing. So, yeah. Anyway. All right, let's record it. Okay, catch.